The whole world is excited when the two criminals, Meghan and Harry, are suffering retribution for the bad things they did in the past. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle entered the next stage of humiliation after being snubbed by the royal family. We will update the details of the incident in today's newsletter. After Meghan Markle officially launched her brand new American Riviera orchard on Instagram, Harry and Meghan were dealt a pretty harsh blow, and the royal family removed the couple's position on its official royal website. And today, royal expert Richard Eden has savaged Harry and Meghan after the firm's decision. Speaking on Palace Confidential, Mr. Eden said, "Obviously, Prince Harry, as King Charles's younger son, would have a very prominent position, but he dropped down after quitting royal duties." And the expert went on to say, now it's the next stage of their humiliation. They've been pushed pretty much down to the bottom. Honestly, though, I'd say they should count themselves lucky to still have a presence at all. They don't provide anything to the royal family except betrayal and deceit, and that's what the royal family can get from them and also the people of the country. So they deserve what's coming to them, and they don't have the right to whine or complain about anything. Before they decided to walk away from the royal family, and since then too, repeatedly they have attacked King Charles, William, and the rest of the family. If you ask me, they don't even belong at the bottom of the list. They need to be taken off altogether. So it's no surprise that's more than they deserve. They're no longer working royals. They're just like Prince Andrew in that way. And Meghan Markle always has to remind everybody that she's a duchess, telling Americans to refer to her as ma'am after she made fun of the late queen on TV with that horrible curtsy. She and her hapless husband do not belong on the royal website after they told the whole world they escaped and Harry said that he was trapped. Well, all right, now they've gotten what they wanted. They are free, they are independent. So they should be taken off of the royal website because they no longer want to be royals. Now, Meghan secretly does, of course, want to be known as a royal because, well, that's the only thing that gives her relevancy. But since her reputation is already in the toilet, nobody's really fooled by this duchess title. I really hope this is the first of many steps the royal family is going to take until it becomes obvious to them and us that they are gone for good. I really believe the royal family is going to know what to do and how to do it with this horrible couple. Harry may have been a blood royal, but he didn't fulfill the destiny of somebody with royal lineage, did he? So is there any reason that he should still be treated like a blood prince? Forget about people asking, where is Catherine? Why is Prince Harry's African Parks charity getting away with literal murder and rape? But we don't expect the media to investigate and cover a story that's worthwhile, right? Instead, they're going to be focused on an affair story that isn't even real. The only thing the media wants to cover is this meaningless garbage from an expert or a source or an insider. If they can't get that, then I guess it's not worth their effort. And of course, the media has a problem with people like us because we are here to speak fairly and objectively. And what the people want is for Harry and Meghan's names to be removed from the website altogether because they are no longer working royals. And you know what? To publish their new website, to publish that link to it, that's openly advertising titles for gain. It never should have happened. Harry has no business being on that Counselors of State list either. He needs to be removed immediately. What is the point of him being included when he's not qualified for that position? Honestly, I think King Charles is being way too soft here. And then we've got Joe Biden just watching the monarchy being attacked all the time by this Montecito couple. Now, Harry, he didn't even honestly earn a high school degree. He had a lot of help during his exams because he really struggled. But, people in the US don't care about titles anyway, and Harry only has a high school degree and no marketable skills. He's got nothing to offer. The royal family have bigger and better things to do than worry about where to put those two. And look who the celebrities are. People know about the Kardashians. We have known about the Kardashians for 20 years. People shouldn't be fooled by those stupid awards Harry and Meghan got either. Come on, they're bought and paid for. And what about the books and the Netflix shows? Well, they were everywhere. So I am not sure that Americans are buying into their act. Because people can see Harry and Meghan have horrible personalities, they're dishonest, they have no integrity, no compassion. They simply don't come up in normal conversation. The news they make in the US is because of their PR people. They don't have anything to offer. And I know, Harry and Meghan are convinced it's the Americans who have lined their pockets with millions of dollars, who have given them standing ovations at events, and whose celebrities are just so excited to ski with them, to fly them in their private jets, and invite them to a charity and awards ceremonies. And they assume it's because of the titles, because, well, they don't have anything else. But honestly, there aren't so many Americans who are willing to do that. Harry and Meghan are also so self-destructive, it's incredible to watch. I mean, they truly are their own worst enemies. They need to be removed from the Invictus Games, too. They're only using Invictus to get money to pay for their lavish lifestyles. They couldn't care less about those veterans. What's crazy, though, is they are getting the UK government to invest £26 million for the next Invictus Games in Birmingham. Birmingham is a bankrupt city, and the two of them are going to demand a mile exclusion zone, imprisonment for public protection, private jets, and, their usual designer clothing and jewelry allowance as well. So they'll come back to the country that branded them royal, their final endgame. They're going to be rubbing everybody's noses in the pile of BS while they line their pockets with taxpayers' money. Next step, obviously, is to take the titles away. They're Americans now, and Americans don't hold British titles. There have just been too many lies to forget. I mean, the biggest lie, I think, was what Meghan said about the royal family being racist. Anybody else would be in jail. I mean, Her Majesty the Queen and Prince Philip dying under that cloud of malice. Archofficial did not receive the prince title because of skin color. I mean, come on, what a lie. They are just beyond redemption. Furthermore, the fact that Harry just let Meghan so cruelly go after his family in a national interview, I'm sure that felt like a knife in the heart of the late Queen. Unfortunately, she passed away knowing that her grandson let that happen, let his wife damage the monarchy, an institution that Her Majesty the late Queen dedicated her entire life to. How could anyone ever forgive that? And honestly, it's really Archofficial who's going to pay the price for all this. How could he ever have a close, loving relationship with his grandfather's aunt after the royal stuff? Now, maybe they're not going to tell him, but it's out there in the media, so he's going to discover it. How could he not hate his parents for everything they did? I guess Harry and Meghan didn't realize what they were doing. And why did Harry just allow Meghan to make those accusations about the family being racist when she was talking to Oprah? He knew it wasn't true. He knew that had nothing to do with why Archofficial didn't receive the title of prince when he was born. God, they're just so cringy. As for Meghan's latest endeavor with the stupid American Riviera orchard, this is just another attempt to make a whole lot of money by doing absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, some role model she is. And I'm sure when they first presented the Queen with this plan that they were going to be half in, half out royals and spend a lot of their time in the US, they never for a moment dreamed of the ammunition stored in the palace armory. But after they were disappointed because they didn't get what they wanted and what they thought they were entitled to, I mean, if they had just refrained from their disgusting behavior in respect to the family, I'm sure they would be partially back where they want to be. I mean, that is where their status indicates they should be. But they were not mature enough to acknowledge it, so that's their own fault. When they left, people were shocked and people were disappointed, but nobody hated them, and now things are different, but again, that's their fault. And, in the past, I've always been an advocate of those two losing their titles, but sometimes I kind of think maybe the palace are making the right decision. They have lowered their status, but they haven't allowed Harry and Meghan to play the victim card again. By keeping the titles and the link to their website, basically they're giving Harry and Meghan the chance to have the earning potential they want. But they're not going to come back to the UK. Because if they fail, which of course they will because neither of them want to work, they can only blame themselves. But at the end of the day, honestly, clearly I'm still a fan of them losing their titles. They are making money off the titles, which the late Queen forbade. It's an embarrassment to the people of Britain. Every single pound should be returned to the citizens of the UK. They really didn't do anything except humiliate themselves, though, when they sat down with Oprah and told those lies. Everybody sees them as lies. Whatever they hoped to achieve, obviously they failed, and they've been on a downhill slope ever since then. They only have themselves to blame, though, for the situation they find themselves in. After having stepped down, they could have had a completely different life if they had just encouraged a different outlook and found themselves some legit business ventures to get involved with. But you see, the deals with Spotify and Netflix were already made even before the Oprah interview, and everything that happened after depended on trashing the family and really peddling this victimhood narrative that was never based in reality. So their position on the bottom rung of the social ladder and the royal family ladder is definitely deserved. It tells us that actions do have consequences. So I hope that Harry and Meghan are finally getting the picture that their actions do have repercussions that they're going to have to face. Obviously, Harry didn't understand that his carefully crafted persona was all done by the palace's PR team. It was really covering up for his Playboy Prince lifestyle that, quite frankly, is disgusting up close. And they got him into the military to try to give him some structure and guidance. At one point in time, Harry was a very popular royal, but not anymore. But the truth is, he was never more popular than the Queen. And now Harry and Meghan have just been on this downhill trajectory ever since then. But again, it's thanks to their own lack of talent and lack of work ethic. That's all. There was news about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle entering the next stage of humiliation after being spurned by the royal family. How do you feel about this incident? Please comment to let us know. Goodbye, and I'll be back to see you again in the next videos.